Hey, welcome. It's likely you know this guy who's volunteered his time for the show today. None other than Ham Bagby, a staple of Alabama music, the man I owe every bit of my success to, and seeing how I have no success at all.
Hey, everybody.
There he is. Ham, when Skinner was set to play Huntsville, Alabama in the spring of '77, I had a ticket and it got canceled.
Did you really? We're not even that old.
No, exactly. I would have been one. I've been one, maybe. No, that's the Drive-By Truckers lyric.
That's right. Mm-hmm. It's been a minute since I've revisited that album, and I really need to get back to it because it hadn't gotten much better in music at all than that record, honestly.
Yeah, since '01. I told that to my daughter, and she took a beat and she said, "That sounds right." You and I go way back, though. I do credit you fully for launching the short music career I had. I really do. Yeah, you had.
I thought you were great. I used to see you at open mics. I'd be like, God, you're great, and that's all I really had to say about that.
Well, here's the thing: you were amazing and awesome, and someone I think probably everybody looked up to at the time. And then you hosted the music at Mellow Mushroom. It was an open mic. The rule was, and I love this still to this day, you play one or two original songs, and then the next round again, that's when you can play covers.
Yeah.
And most open mics, people want to go up and play Whiskey Bent and Hellbound, and it's like, no. You play something you wrote first. You show you. Yeah. And that was your rule, right?
Yeah, it was. I think I spitballed it around with a couple other people, but for the most part, I think that my thing back then was, play stuff you wrote. And then I kept hosting open mics, and I'd changed. I'd be like, whatever, just do what you want. I mean, like, I wouldn't. Tom Zyler didn't write, so yeah, just play your covers of Richard Thompson songs. That'll be just fine. It's still out there. Just get out there and play, guys.
Yeah, that rule alone, I think, forced it created countless bands during that era.
I was hosting open mics when a lot of bands showed up and met, and the bands that I can think of specifically are like Bagby. I can't think of any other bands. It was Bagby. It was the only one.
Bagby, Squirrel House.
Yeah, that's right.
The Bonky Bonks.
The Bonky Bonks, yeah.
These all came from that songwriting.
Did they seriously? They seriously came from, all those bands were met at my open mics?
Yes. I remember an open mic where I walked up to Ryan Akers, and I was completely random, didn't mean anything by it, and I said, you don't have to play bass guitar, do you? He said, yeah, I do. I said, let's go for it. Because I've got Mikey. Just need a bass player.
Yeah.
What's your calendar look like these days? You're in perpetual motion when it comes to music?
It is the goal to not have a moment to myself. I work full time. I have my kids every other weekend, and I play gigs when I am, not otherwise obligated. It's less and less band stuff and more solo stuff, but it's still fun. And I record and I write, and I've got new stuff coming out. Hopefully I'll have something out by the end of the summer. There's a big thing coming out in like October. They shot a concert film type shoot of me playing at the Nick with CJ and Breeley.
Okay.
And the notes that I gave the filmmaker were that I just want it to be the opposite of The Last Waltz. Like, not the best venue, no guests. Just the band doing what the band does.
No one eating turkey before the show.
Yeah. Let's just shoot the show and let's have it at the Nick, and it'll be great. And I think that it's going to be fantastic. And it'll also be a live album, which I think that we could probably be essentially done with, but we can't release the album before the film comes out. So it's like we're waiting, sitting on our hands. Like,
we're thinking October.
Yeah. So I think that Chris said that it would be October. So.
Wow. That's exciting, dude.
It is. It's crazy.
And then accompany audio.
Yeah.
You have 3 albums right now. 2020's Trying Not to Die.
Yeah.
2022's All Filler.
Uh-huh.
And then the original, way back, if people know where to look, is out there. Shit's Crucial, track 7.
Yeah.
But that one's not on Apple Music or Spotify.
It's not on Apple Music, and I don't know. I think Brandon Walker did, and I did that one. And when it was just a different era, that was like 2012. So we only released it digitally, and we used TuneCore for the digital, and that did not end up on Apple Music, but it's on Spotify and it's on YouTube. It's essentially as available as the other two. But we use CD Baby for... this is the second podcast I've said we use CD Baby, like I'm advertising for CD Baby.
Yes.
CD Baby needs to come to me for all this free promotion.
That's who I used.
Yeah.
And I haven't paid them a dime in never. And I don't and they still have my shit out there. I'm like, what are y'all doing? It's
a one-stop shop. You pay them whatever it is to do the distribution, and you can use them to press CDs, and you can use it. So, I mean, I'd rather just use that. If people want to overthink stuff and put a bow on it and, light a candle and say a prayer, and I just think you just need to do the easiest thing. Like, why do you work so hard when keep it simple. Like,
people want to hear it.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, I've got this music and you're not going to hear it.
Yeah. If you don't press this link and go to this little spot, and we'll give you directions to a weird bar in Minnesota. You can play it on their jukebox.
Do we want to talk about the song "Shit's Crucial"?
Yeah, it is a 25-year-old song. You know that, right?
Wow. No, I don't think I realized I did the math there. I feel like people know you for that song. I knew you. I knew that song before I knew you.
I own it. I know that it is. I know I owe a lot to Shit's Crucial. I know what I've got. Yeah. It's weird because people book me and they think that they're going to get me solo and get Shit's Crucial, but I've been very clear up front. You don't get it if you don't pay for the band. So.
Wise choice. Wise.
Yeah. Don't lowball me. I know what I got.
People would nudge me on the strip in Tuscaloosa way back when, 25 years ago, obviously, and say such lurid things as, let's head down to Cheap Shots and hear Ham Bagby play Shit's Crucial.
Let's go to Cheap Shots. God, what a great... me and Billy used to play duos at Cheap Shots, and we would get... drunk people would grab the boom of our mics to balance themselves and like use the microphone to punch you in the face, basically.
Yes, because you were there.
Yeah. And we started taking the boom and like setting it up behind us and bringing it around forward.
That's a seasoned veteran right there.
I got wise a few years later and started using a gooseneck mic. And now I feel like most of the places I play don't have drunk people approaching the stage that closely to where they can assault you with your own microphone.
Well, you probably have a stage where that's not 3 inches.
I'm playing on a lot of stages these days.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite of the 3 albums?
It's layered because I love the Shit's Crucial album because it's where I got to acknowledge and kind of parody the idea that I'm nothing but Shit's Crucial. And I'm proud of this song, so I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think Trying Not to Die is the one that I mean, we did it so fast. We loaded into a house with John Harms and Ben Holcomb, and CJ pressed record on every like song that we do. We did them all live, and we got it done in 4.5, 5 hours. So all 10 of those songs, all 10 of those songs are, other than a couple of vocal overdubs and what Natalie did on the background vocals on 3 or 4 songs, it's all that 3 or 4 hours or 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, I think it's great.
Good songs.
I feel 2 years later when we did all filler, I think it's good. I love it. But it was the same process, and we just did it in a day. And what we have, I think the sound quality is fantastic, and I love to listen to it. So I stand behind all 3 of those.
Yeah, good.
But Trying Not to Die is kind of is where I feel like I can be like, that's the one that I'm super proud of. I think
no Lynn Bridges there to tell you drug-addled stories.
I mean, that's what CJ was like, what do you want? And I was like, I want to get it done as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I want you to record the band doing what the band does. And he didn't even sit in the room. He pressed record and walked out and went and checked his email and played Minecraft or whatever.
What? That's wild. Mm-hmm. Do you remember Lynn Bridges getting the pint of whiskey and putting a red mark on it so he wouldn't drink any more than the red mark?
Yeah, yeah. When we weren't getting not such a great album too,
Oh,
but
come on.
but the oh my god, I love that record. I can listen. I mean, listen to it again. When was the last time you listened to it?
I listen to it about once a year, honestly, just because I want to remember. Not because I'm being. By the way, listeners, viewers, we're talking about my first album. I listen to it about once a year, not because I'm conceited, but because I just want to relive that memory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
cut
I
it
love
live.
that. And I loved that weekend. And it kind of deconstructed what the studio process was for me and recording in general. Lynn Bridges was so seminal and like in creating and burnt, like starting a fire in me that was like, there was so much different. You go into music with all these preconceived notions about what it's going to be. And then when you start producing stuff, what you're looking at is not what your dreams were.
Yeah,
And I think that if you start to love that part of it, I think it changes it. That weekend was phenomenal.
it was fun.
I mean, some of the notes that he like when David did that one pass on that solo, and then he was like, I'm out of tune.
Yeah,
And he said, anybody can play a tune.
that's right. It was Peels.
Yeah.
A bunch of us were out of tune, and we said we
Yeah.
got to go back and recut that. And he said, no, anybody could play it in tune.
Yeah. Ronnie Wood would have kept it.
Yeah, I mean, just genius ideas. He's a genius, though. Lynn Bridges, shout out.
Oh man. And a sweet, sweet, sweet human being.
Yeah, he is. Good for him, too. You got any shows coming up in July? Because we're looking at July here. We're in July, technically.
I'm crushing it in July.
Let's hear it.
I'm going back to T-Town I'm playing at a nursing home on the 3rd.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm doing
Just
2
some
hours.
solo stuff?
2 hours of solo stuff for their little 4th of July celebration.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. I'm proud to do it. The residents are not aware of Schitt's Crucial or any of those songs, but it's going to be okay. Because I can sit there and do Merle Haggard songs for 3
Yes,
hours,
you
or
can.
2 hours, whatever it is. It's 2 or 3 hours. I can't remember.
I could sit and listen to you play Merle Haggard songs, honestly. Can I come?
Man, come on. Come on with it. It's going to be fun. There's going to be fireworks. I think there's going to be refreshments.
I'll bring my little
You're
girl.
more
We'll
than-
go.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to see if I can get some people to come to it, though. Everyone's welcome.
So where is it?
It's in Cook Springs, Alabama, close to my
Okay.
house.
Okay.
It's probably the only thing that's happening in Cook Springs that night.
And it's at the
And
nursing
I don't
home.
think anybody'd be offended to hear that.
There you go. What else you got? Got some big shows?
And then the 4th, I've got a lake party in Tuscaloosa. Breeley's playing. Breeley Flower I can cuss in the air, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We work blue here.
Well, thank fucking God. But Breeley's in a band called the Sick Fucks, and she is living in Nashville now, but she's been playing in my band for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And CJ, who recorded my last 2 albums, now playing bass in my band, and we're doing a lake party in Tuscaloosa. They booked us to do originals and covers, but for their lake party.
That's awesome.
It is gonna be good. And then Saturday, I've got the Blackstone Pub in Gadsden on the 5th.
What's the best place people can keep up with this stuff? Facebook, Instagram, both? Probably?
Facebook, Instagram. I promise the world occasionally that I'm going to do better on TikTok, but it's hard.
It is hard.
Because I see everybody else's TikToks and they look so nice. And I'm just like, if I do a talking TikTok, I'm just like, hey guys,
Yeah.
I'm a 47-year-old man.
Yeah. I know. I feel the same way. Hi. Just sitting around.
Yeah.
Watch recent episode of The Bear. Okay. On Facebook every single day you write the sentence, I hope you have a good day today.
Yeah.
What started that?
It was the inauguration of a particular president like 8 years ago or whatever
Oh,
it
yeah,
was.
Kennedy.
Yeah. And I knew that people were a little bummed about that. So I started.
Nixon.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep naming presidents.
Not McKinley. When William Henry Harrison was elected, I knew that
was
the
it,
world
turning
needed
point.
the world needed something.
God damn America. No, so you just thought positivity, really,
Yeah,
right?
I just thought, well, I wasn't going to acknowledge it specifically, but I was like, if I do it 2 days in a row, I wonder if people are going to say anything.
And you've done it since.
Yeah, and it's just been every day. I was Adrian Marmolejo was I was talking to him and I was like, I'm thinking about stopping it, and he was like, don't stop it. This was like a year ago. He was like, you need to do it every day. People like it.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's not like I get like 3,000 likes every time I do it or anything. But I mean, there's a pretty consistent, it's never the same number of people, but it's, pretty consistently I'm getting 40 to 60 to 80 likes on it every day.
Yeah. And you'll get an occasional response.
Yeah, it screws up the algorithm, so people will get like 3 or 4 in a row. And so you'll get 3 notifications that they like 3 different ones. And it just says, I hope you have a good day today.
Do you mean it?
It's been sarcastic this whole time.
It's been a huge fuck you.
I hope you have a good day today.
Yeah. Man.
It's sincere. There's something about like kindness and positivity that I've been latching onto the last 10 or 15 years. I don't want to be, I mean, I'm kind of a like naturally surly, sarcastic person. And I think the whole idea of kindness and just trying to be present and aware that people are in need of compassion is something that I think about a lot. I think about people like Fred Rogers and I'm like, that's what I want to strive to be like. Steve Irwin, people like that, just positive people who are trying to make the world a better place. And I mean, I might not be able to make the world a better place, but I can hope you have a good day today.
We need another Fred Rogers.
Yeah, he didn't say fuck though.
He did not say fuck that I know of.
He's a Presbyterian.
Well, that might be
one. I think he was a preacher or something. Or
I think so, yeah.
He was a theologian.
Yep. Let's get into our 4 questions here.
Hell yeah, man.
Our 4 questions, the heart of the show. Number 1, question 1. How does your music and also playing live shows represent any deep value that you think you have?
I've developed a pretty deep bag of performance acumen over the last 30 or so years. And I think playing a show, I think you need to give what you're getting from it. I try to do the best I can on any given night. Don't like to phone. I don't phone it in. I try to give them, even if I'm background noise at a restaurant, I'm doing it because I know what I feel like off stage. I'm so comfortable on stage, and it's that I crave. And the nights that I don't book, I regret being home almost. Like I just feel like performance is just what I want to do. I just want to be singing songs and playing guitar for people.
You think that represents kind of a value of doing your best on stage, making as good of music as you can?
I don't want to half-ass any of this, because I feel lucky. I'm lucky to be there. A lot of people don't get the gigs that I get,
That's right.
And people will say, "Man, I wish I could play guitar." And I'm like, "Well, did you change cups?"
I did. I finished that cup of coffee, and I have a second cup of coffee.
I was like,
"Oh my God, you're the only one to ever notice that." Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, people they want to graduate from open mic guy, and then they can't ever get it together, I guess. And there's like some amount of like, I need to recognize that about myself. Like I've been able to do this and sustain this for as long as I have to be able to do these things.
Now, are you talking about people who want to do it, or just, you're not talking about people who are just in college doing open mic, and then when they're done with the college, they go to
No, I'm saying there's people who want to be doing what I do.
Right.
And I'm lucky to have the work. I'm lucky to have the gigs that I have. Yeah. So I try not to ever take any, like nothing is just a restaurant gig, So
it's good that you look at it that way. Yeah. Don't take it for granted.
I opened for J.D. McPherson a little while back. It was just, I was on cloud 9. I did the show at the Nick where they recorded it. I was on cloud 9. You got to work just as hard for the people who are at the restaurant watching you play solo too.
That's
because if you half-ass it there, what is all this work good for? What if somebody saw you on an off night and they said that's what that guy is, and then you don't ever get that person back?
Exactly. I think about that with my podcast. I think I can't put out a bad one because what if that's the only one someone hears?
Oh man! So now you gotta scrap this one.
Yeah. Sometimes. Well, no, I don't think we've ever scrapped one, but I always think, what if this is the one that they tune into? You've opened for the Dexatines.
Yeah, my favorite band. I've been on stage with the Dexatines. My favorite.
I know. Is John Smith still your favorite guitarist?
He is 100% my favorite guitarist. He just did some tracks with my friend Jacob Kynard.
Really?
At Matt Patton's place in Water Valley.
Okay.
And Jacob sent me the stuff, and I was like, he is still like what I want to be as a guitar player, honestly.
Yeah. Smooth. Smooth's a horrible word.
Yeah.
Fluid.
Yeah.
Fluid.
He's expressive.
Yes.
And his improvisation is really cool. It's like he can make like one double stop sound like a million different things, and I think that's kind of cool.
I know. Go any direction.
Yeah.
This kind of goes hand in hand with number 2. Here's question 2. What motivates you when you're most productive? What is it that's motivating you?
I think if I get in a pocket of, I mean, there's a few different things, but I think specifically right now what I'm going to talk about is when I get on a roll, when I'm like, because there's pockets where there's just writer's block, and I'm just like, I'm not really going back to writing until I get a good idea. When I get on a roll and I get 2 or 3 out in a few days, 2 or 3 songs, or 2 or 3 ideas even, I get really motivated to do more. And I think that, because who knows how long that burst of creativity is going to last. So you got to strike while the iron's hot.
That's true.
So that definitely is motivating. And then when I feel like there's a second thing. I don't like sounding old when I'm playing guitar solos. So if I hear like a playback of myself and it's like a guitar solo and I sound like, that sounds like an old man playing that.
What would it sound like?
I don't know exactly how to describe it, but there's just something about like just like a bend might not quite achieve like the note that I'm going for, and it'll just sound like elderly to me. And I'll just be like, I'm not an old man, and I will practice until that particular phrase sounds right. It'd be something stupid. It's just a stupid thing that I'll obsess over, and then why are you doing this to yourself? Is what I'm really feeling like.
Yeah. This is a tangential question. It's not our next one. It goes with it. At some point you made, I would have seen it coming. I don't know if others would have seen it coming, because I have known you to be a fan of Thin Lizzy and Roger Miller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So at some point in some of your writing, you made kind of a turn toward some pretty funny but yet semi-country songs.
Yeah. And I started kind of moving towards more of the Roger Miller style of song, because they were just coming to me so fast.
Well, that's your sense of humor too.
Yeah, and it's really easy to land those type of phrases like that are jokes or whatever.
Yeah,
it's in that format. For me, I don't know why. I just kind of started writing that way more often and not really doing a whole lot of. There's a song called "Getting Drunk" on Trying Not to Die. A little prog part that's kind of righteous, but for the most part, I mean, like, it's like the rockinest part of the show is going to be Shit's Crucial and Getting Drunk. We're going to cover For Those About to Rock at the 4th of July thing, but
yeah. I'm a dick when I drink.
Yeah,
it's a famous one. So
Track
what are
1.
some that get a lot of requests other than Shit's Crucial? Obviously, what's some that get requests?
There's a song called "You Don't Owe Them Anything" on All Filler, and people really like that one.
Really?
Yeah. Dumbass Friends is starting to get a lot of traction. People are coming back. Younger people are coming back to Shit's Crucial. Because,
oh, nice. It's circling back around.
Yeah. A lot of people in their 20s will be at my band shows. They were at there were a lot of people at the recording that were in their 20s.
I was there.
You were at the Bic?
And no, I was at the.
Oh, you were at the.
Shit's
You were at the.
Crucial
Yeah, that's
7.
right. That's right. Yeah, you were definitely
front
at that.
row.
This was much like that. It's just that I didn't know so many people in the crowd, and there were these young people showed up, and they were like, I promoted it for months. I went really hard on this concert film, the opposite of The Last Waltz. Like, I was like, what is going on? It's just weird. What are y'all doing here? Do you know who I am? I'm old. I'm going to feel like that in 20 years too. I'm an old person.
Hopefully so.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a good way. But younger people liking my stuff was just something that I didn't think was going to start happening this year. And they were singing along to songs that I didn't think they'd be singing along to, like Depressed and Tired and Single. But I don't know. I don't write them for anyone but me.
Yeah.
I like that they like them, but I mean, like I try to write them for myself more than anything. They're a vehicle for guitar solos playing. That's what I want to do. I just want to write funny songs that I can play guitar solos on.
There you go. I figured "Hey Motherfucker" would be a
Hey Motherfuckers is probably number 2 on the Spotify list.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Question 3: what's the strangest thing you've seen in music with gigs?
Man, were you at that Satan's Youth Minister show at the Mellow Mushroom?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, maybe. Depends on if this was my drinking days or not.
Okay. Satan's Youth Ministers was like a band from Huntsville, I think? Florence. And the lead singer did this whole like drag thing, but he had a huge beard, and it was, oh my God. Watching the audience react to that back then before 2010 or whatever, it was wonderful.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was just amazing. Do you not find that the audience reaction to something that is just outlandish is probably the funniest part? Like watching Andy Kaufman or something like that?
Yeah.
The audience reaction is the funniest part.
I do. I'm sure I was part of that reaction when I saw Mike Galt take a drumstick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
You were at the show.
We were standing next to each other, probably.
Right next to each other at Egan's.
Golly.
Yeah, I won't say more, but.
Okay. Yeah, it was not. It went somewhere, and then it went somewhere else.
Story,
and then
not mine. That's his story. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Question 4 is the same for everyone. Everyone loves it or hates it. I'm not sure. What's done up real good for you?
I'm obsessed over this question.
Everybody obsesses over this question.
And I think about done up real good is such a versatile expression.
Yes, it is. That's why I love it.
I do too. I don't know, man. Something that I can come back to over and over and over again is probably, so like the catalog of the Dexatines. I can listen to, like it'll be my top 5 Spotify wrapped songs were all Dexatine songs for like 3 years in a row. And then last year was the Wanda Band.
Oh, yeah.
She's good. Yeah, it's crazy. And this stuff that I can listen to all the time. Phil Collins, Colin Hay, Willie Carlisle. Ooh,
I don't know him.
Oh my God, you got to go dive deep. He's wonderful.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Willie Carlisle. I played a show with him at the Nick in like 2016, and I've been a fan ever since. And he has mentioned that he's a fan of mine too, so it's kind of nice.
How about that? I had Wanda on the first season of this show, and I don't do a season every summer. It's very sporadic. And so I credit myself with launching her career.
Oh, good for you. Because I
had nothing to do with that. She's wonderful. And
I saw her solo. Me and Breely did Porch Fest in Columbus, Mississippi on a Friday night. And
how about that?
Yeah, it was fun. We both did like songwriter sets. And then we drove back on Saturday and played Skinner's birthday party. And then after the birthday party, somebody was like, hey, Wanda's playing at the brewery. And me and Breely were like, yeah, let's go see Wanda for a little bit because it's still early. And she played like 2 hours solo. Yeah. And I cried a million times. This is when my mom was sick and all that stuff. Man. And so it was just a very emotional and just the way that she writes and the way that she can make me cry like a baby is probably the thing that keeps me coming back. I'm just a fan. I think she's a really good songwriter, and I'm proud of her, and I like seeing her get further in her career and stuff. She's a really righteous person.
She's brave with her vulnerability, no doubt.
Yeah,
and I love it.
I want to be more like that.
Yeah. She's very sweet. I saw her in Florence about a year ago, and she remembered me from a very short little interview like this, and we just had a nice chat. Great person. This is not on the docket at all. Give me your favorite Ashley Hill story.
Okay. I'm going to tell the one that I've told before, but have you heard this one?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't know if I wanted to ask you your favorite Ashley Hill story or your favorite Sweet Dog story. So we were playing tell one or both.
This one's better.
Okay.
This one's better than my favorite Sweet Dog story. I don't even know if I have a favorite Sweet Dog story. Just knowing Sweet Dog, to know Sweet Dog is to know Sweet Dog.
Yeah.
But Ashley was bartending at Egan's. It was a Friday night. You were playing, and we got to the Panama City verse of Schitt's Crucial, and two women got in a fight right in front of the, quote unquote stage.
Yeah, yeah.
And as they were pummeling each other and throwing each other against the wall and stuff, people were trying to break it up, and with no success. And Ashley Hill's like, I got this, and walked up, tried to stop them from fighting. He got knocked to the ground, and that is when the band finally stopped playing because he fell like hard. And we stopped playing, and he rolled over, pointed up at me, and said, "Shit's fucking crucial." And we just started playing again. But it was very nice. He was like, he rolled around and went, "Shit's fucking crucial."
Yeah.
And it was like, everything's fine. I'm fine. Yeah. I did just fall on concrete.
I thought you were about to say, he's going to say, "Keep playing," but nope.
No. He just pointed at me and said, "Shit's crucial," and we started playing again.
He would come to me whenever I would be between lyrics and feed me Jägermeister. I mean, literally pour it down my throat, and I would just be like, "I'll try." The first time I'd ever seen the Dextines, you took me, and I think it was at Galette's, that front stage on a Tuesday night. There wasn't quite as many people. They did their tuning up, and the first thing Elliot said was, "Hey, we're the Dextines, and y'all ain't never seen nothing like this." I was like, "Oh, this may be my
well, at the same
band."
time, it's like, what the hell is, how is this? There was no Chucker anymore, so there weren't a whole lot of places to play in Tuscaloosa. And the fact that manager guy wanted to book them at Galette's was wild. But it was probably like the drive-by truckers connection and all that.
Like the rest of us, Ham's online. We'll put links to Instagram and
all my music because it's all Ham Bagby.
Yeah, it's easy. And in his music, we'll link it. You can keep up with him, know when to go see Shit's Crucial. But that will be the full band.
Yeah, we got it.
Ham, it's great to see you. Don't be a stranger.
See you too, bud.
Yeah,
this has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate it, man. It's good to see you.
Oh, thanks, dude. It's great to have you. Yeah. Follow those links online, everybody, and we'll see everyone later.